Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, taking flights in the Cessna Citation Jet4 on flights from Aspen to Tijuana. So, flight time today around 95 minutes, 1 hour and 35 minutes, and should be rather a technical flight, both on our departure and arrival. So, as of Aspen here, you can see it's high mountains around all sides of the airport, and so we are a relatively steep climb outs first of all. And then our arrival should see us, well, avoiding US airspace. So we're expected to land on runway 09 at Tijuana, which takes us right along the US-Mexican border, right along the fence, and so it should be a, well, rather interesting approach, especially when it comes to manual control as well. With the approach, with the airspace regulations around it, if we enter US airspace, we're under the jurisdiction of the US Air Traffic Control, which on the approach into Tijuana, being on the Mexican side, it's a complicated approach, and so while part of it does go into US airspace, there has been agreements involved where I'm going to be on the Mexican ATC until we get towards the runway. So we'll go into more of that detail later on. For now, let's refuel the aircraft. Let's we'll set our payload at around 33% today. That looks good. And let's jump into the cockpit. And let's start setting the aircraft up. So first things first, on the battery and avionics. We'll give the aircraft a few seconds to load up the systems. We've got the master caution, master warnings. We've got the torque set right now. Should take a few seconds. And as soon as that passes, you can clear the alarms and jump down to the FMS to program our flights. Welcome there DMP, welcome there Max Speed, welcome there AJ, CDJ, and everybody else.
System test.
Perfect.
Okay.
So clear the master caution, we'll clear the master warning.
Okay.
And let's jump down to the FMS. Also set the navigation lights, and that should be the only lights we need for now. So let's jump down to position initialization. Let's head over to our departure airport, which is Aspen, Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo. Let's set our location. We're at stands 2 right now, so we'll plug that in as well. And head over to routes. No, we won't. We head over to flight plan, sorry. So, Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo is our departure, and our arrival is Mike Tango Juliet, which is Tijuana. No flight plan, we're flying, sorry, no flight number, since we're flying private. No company routes either, so we'll go straight to the next page, and let's plug in our waypoints. So, yeah, first waypoint is Linz. Following Linz, we fly to El Rey. Then it's to be continued, Tango Bravo Charlie, which is going to be that one. Following Daphne. And then afterwards it's Tannery. And that takes us to our approach. So we'll activate that, head over to our departure and arrival initialization, sorry, index. And then from here, it's a runway 3 departure via the SARD 3 departure. So, happy with that, go to routes, execute that hopefully. If not, have our waypoints entered? I think they have actually. Yes, they have, that's all fine. So, jump back to the aircraft and let's, well, first have a look. So there's no real blocking or anything, so you can easily turn the aircraft from the stand right now. That's not a problem. There's a few planes behind us, and we are using IVAO today for the ATC, so connect over to the network. And so you can see, we're using the altitude client today. There's no ATC right now, currently on Unicom 122.18. And we'll get the METAR information for Aspen. So, winds currently 1004 knots. Broken clouds at, that'll be, what, 10,000? Broken at 12,000. QNH3, sorry, altimeter 3007. So we'll jump back into the aircrafts and let's set that up. So 3007. That's good. We'll turn on the flight director. We'll set the vertical speed to 2,000 feet per minute. This is our initial climb out. We'll set our speed to 250 knots initially. And our altitude, today we're cruising at flight level 410. Airport's call sign, you mean the ICAO code, which is Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo case. Right, 487, 38, 39, 40, 41. That looks good to me. Okay, so, at this stage, probably not going to be too far now from departure. Go to my next page and just have a look at the flight plan as a whole. So if I zoom out again on that, yeah, I'm happy with that. And zoom back in, and we'll watch now the departure as you climb out. At this point, we're now ready for engine start. So what we'll do is jump down to the lights panel. We'll turn on the beacon lights. Strobe's not yet, pulse not yet. Logo lights we shouldn't need since it is daytime outside. And so what we're going to do now is we'll activate start. So engine start to right. Open the guard switch. Start engine number 2. So we're going to watch the N2 now, and the N1 will go active in a second. All looking good. So flying out of Aspen today, which is a handcrafted airport here in Microsoft Flight Sim. And, well, quite a nice little looking building that. So, I believe Aspen is counted as a major US airport, but certainly not a major hub, so it does see a lot of local traffic. And, well, relatively popular with tourists, especially during the skiing season. It's a very beautiful airport. Winds and visibility not looking too great at the moment, and so that should add an extra layer of change to our departure today. And that should be rather fun. Engine 2 is now stable. We'll now start the left-hand engine. Open the guard, press the run switch, and down. So again, just watching the N2 now start to climb. N1 should now follow. In a couple of seconds, we'll be ready to, well, leave out, stand here. Taxi to the runway. So that Cessna there is about to depart in a couple of moments. No VNAV, but to be fair, when it comes to the Cessna Citation GTX, it also doesn't have auto throttle. So this aircraft's engines are too small to fit the system, and therefore it shall be manual throttle control throughout the entire duration of the flight, which should be rather fun. Right, so engines are active, engines are started. We'll turn on the taxi lights. Let's release the parking brake, and let's go taxi now to the runway. It's going to start raining shortly. We should be able to beat the rain on our departure. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Right. So into the main taxiway. Let's head over to the hold points, short of 3-3. It's not a very long taxi here at Aspen, especially with the runway just being right behind us. Very new sim, when would you use flight level climb versus vertical speed? So flight level climb comes down to the power output of the engine. And so, as I've set mine to 250, what it means is that the aircraft will pitch to 250 knots and then climb following that speed setting. Half time it works, half time it doesn't. So, sort of things that takes a bit of practice, at the same time hope that the aircraft is on your side today. Best tip for graphics fluidity, check out the Babu guide, as that's a very good guide on actually how to set up your simulator to look good and run smooth as well. Right, so let's now hold short of runway 33. How's flights? It's 95 minutes, 1 hour and 35 minutes today. Right, let's hold short of the runway. Let's do a quick check, make sure that no one's on approach. Which they are not. Nobody's on the other side. Which they are not. Runway's clear. Let's turn on the turn on the landing lights, strobe lights and pulse lights. Flaps down 1 to takeoff. Let's enter the runway and let's get going. There's a live stream right now. I don't think there's a video premiere going on unless the train sim one started rather late. I'll double check that. Right, center the runway. Let's get going. We're using IVAO today. So if you're on IVAO, then you'll be able to fly with me. If not, then, well, I guess not, I'm afraid. Right. On the runway. Throttle up 40%. 1 into a stable. Let's get going. Is it started right now, the train sim one? Whoops. Bit of a late upload then. Oh boy. Runway inspection vehicles. Oh, a bit of an early rotate that. Gear up. Thank you for that. Yeah, you never quite know when the runway's priority for you or not, especially when I send the inspection vehicles. We'll bring the throttle back slightly to not really run the engines too hot. Just climb now to 10 degrees and set the trim now for climb pitch. Increase speed to about 250 knots, flaps up. Bring back the throttle slightly more. Pass through 10,000, so I'll now turn off the landing lights. And let's now turn on the autopilot with flights level climb active. The aircraft pitch down, hold it at 250 knots, and then she'll start to climb again. So if all goes to plan, that should work rather nicely. Doesn't, we'll just go to vertical speed mode instead. So vertical speed, holds at 2,000 feet per minute. Let's climb up to cruise now. So flight level 410, cruising at today. IVAO is an online network and allows you to fly with real people who are flying the virtual aircraft, and also ATC as well. So departure out of Aspen, airport's now slowly spinning behind us. And we should make for the clouds for a couple of moments. Turn on the ice protection now, just before we go through the clouds. Yeah, so pitot heat is on left and right. That should be fine. And so once you pass the clouds, we should then be able to fly through without too much of an icing issue. But as you know, this sim, when it starts to ice outside, it starts to ice outside. So you have to be very careful at times. So you recycle climb now, it's about 2,500. Looking alright for speed at the moment. A little bit of turbulence there as well passing through. Internal inertial separator seems to come as part of the anti-icing, according to this. Engine only anti-ice, that's the separator. Yeah, those can come off, and the rest of it we'll leave on for now. I haven't seen any precipitation live with it. I've had it a few times, so if you go to my flights, well actually my departure here was a little bit drizzly. My flight yesterday, so the one I did in the A320 from Mallorca to Nice. Sorry, Mallorca to Neon. That was a pretty hefty bit of weather. Welcome, Berna, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chats. So, all looking good at the moment. You can see our usual two pilots here. Taking command of something a little bit sleeker today, especially compared to the aircraft I usually fly, so the A320, 74 and 787s. And flying the private jets, it's no basic in-flight meals, but caviar and champagne. Passing through 20,000, I'm now inside the cloud itself. There's another flight that had the rain as well. Go check out my flights in monsoon weather. That was the one that was going from Chennai to Goa. That was another one that had a fair bit of rain around it. So passing through the clouds now. Should make a break for it soon. So we pass through 18,000. Make sure we're on standard altimeter. I've got two monitors, one on the left, one on the right. Welcome there, Big Sleepy Ox, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat, how are you? I should make an exit for these clouds shortly. You can see they are getting slowly brighter the higher we climb. So in just a couple of moments, we'll then be out of the layer here. Consider flying from Denver? No, not yet. Yeah, so Denver International Airport is handcrafted in Microsoft Flight Sim. It comes with the deluxe edition, I believe it is. But haven't got a plan for Denver yet. Not for a little time to come. Landed in Madrid yesterday. I've never seen it previously. Yeah, Madrid's, Frankfurt's, Denver, and there's another airport as well, which is crazy to taxi to, especially if you land on certain runways. Taxi takes forever. And you can go outside the airplane if you want, but it is just cloud, so you can have outside shots. It is just cloud. However, when I do stream and fly, I do generally stick for the cockpit views because, well, I try and simulate this realistically from the view of the cockpit. Obsessed because Aspen is close. Fair play. now passing through 27,000. Still making a break for the clouds at the moment. If I look at the METAR information, it's well, it shows clouds broken at 120. Potentially it goes up for a bit higher. Well, obviously it has gone up for a bit higher. By the time we land in Tijuana, by the time we arrive in Mexico, things should be becoming a little bit clearer for us. Let's zoom out on the ND there. Let's just get more of a view of the flight ahead of us. How long does it take me to learn to fly well? Not like the Sims. I mean, it really comes down to experience, like how long you fly, how often you fly. I mean, I've been using flight sims since, well, FS 2004, so I've been flying for about 15 years now on flight simulators. It's one of those things that the more you fly, the better you get. What's your sim name? It's Drawyah YT. Yes, this is live weather at the moment. We are flying with live weather. I liked flights in 2020. I could recommend it, yes. Visually, second to none. Okay, you can actually see where the clouds are breaking now, so there are a few coming to view. And we should be able to fly above this in a couple of moments. Where's our altitude now? 31,000. We've got another 10,000 to go in here until we reach our cruise. So we'll break the surface, we'll fly in the blue. It'll be a nice and smooth flight for the rest of the day. There you go. Blue. Thank you for coming with sponsor Osu. Much appreciated, man. Thank you very, very much. So decrease our rate of climb now. It's about 1,500. Allow the aircraft to pick up speed for a little bit because it's running a little slow at the moment. One thing you need to realise when it comes to the Cessna Citation is that it does not have auto throttle. It's all manually controlled throttle. And so it's just a case of manual adjustment throughout the flights. Okay, so there's your oops, there you are. Should have a spanner by name now. If you refresh the screen. Hopefully you get all of that. Oh yes, yes, thank you very much, man. I mean, like I said, any donations or extras do go towards the new PC fund. And so as soon as the NVIDIA RTX 30 series cards come out, I'll definitely make a jump for one of those. For flight time is about 95 minutes. We've only just departed from Aspen about 5-10 minutes ago, so at least another hour and 20 till we land. If only decams are working for experimental, make sure you download the right version. It's the dev branch that has the working version, well, the working overhead. Sorry, fake, yeah. Welcome there, YK. Welcome there, Javen. How you doing? Welcome to the channels. Welcome to the chats. Yeah, the 3090 at $1,400 is looking a little bit on the high side right now, and so I can justify the 3070 at $400. Sorry, the $600. I can justify the 3080 at $800, but the 3090 at $1,400 is a bit up there, and so I'll definitely go for the 30 series. I'm not sure if I'll go for the 70 or the 80 just yet. I'll see how things go and how the prices are. Especially in pounds compared to US dollars. But not far from release now. Not long to go. really is a case where my Train Sim World stream actually has started at the same time as my main flight sim. That should not have happened there. I set it for 6:30. It's a premiere, so the premiere should have gone live at 6:30. For some reason, it's gone live now, a little bit later than it should have been. How's your pilot? Absolutely fine. I've got no problems with it. I can turn off the anti-icing now, since we're above the clouds. So turn off the anti-icing we don't need. Leave the wing and engine ones on. And yeah, so far, so good. Looking quite cloudy at the moment in the US, so given that they have got 2 hurricanes coming through the country to the south right now, I can imagine it's going to be, well, a little bit covered, that's for sure. Passing now through 39,000, flight level 390. Another 2 flight levels to go until we hit our cruise. Thank you for subscribing on Twitch, Jordan. Much appreciated, man. Thank you very, very much. Nope, running rather smooth at the moment. No lag whatsoever. If you play around the simulator settings enough and, I guess, know what you're doing, it's one of the things that it's not difficult to run. Microsoft Flight Simulator is rather well optimised, and more optimisation will come in the future, but it's certainly not bad for what it is. I like it. Nice one, Eduardo. How are you doing today? The Cessna Citation GeForce does not have auto throttle. It's manual throttle for the entire flight. Closest you've got is flight level climb, but that only holds your airspeed, depending on what you've set below. But there is no auto throttle in the Citation jets. That sounds like that they're rather small engines, small form factor, and therefore it's basically impossible to fit them. So the CRJ, for example, the CRJ Canadair Regional Jets series aircrafts, despite the fact that they are commercial passenger planes, they also do not have auto throttle installed. Right, welcome to 41,000, welcome to flight level 410. I don't think that's a bug, Span. No, that's Spuss. Yeah, I don't think that's a bug where it's jumps to 0. That sounds like your pitos are frozen, and so what we want to do is go down to your anti-icing and turn on the pitot heats. That's then melt the ice, and then your airspeed to work properly. So it's not a bug, they're just frozen. I mean, I'm using live weather right now, so I'm getting the full cloud, I'm getting the full rain at the moment. Got a few gaps down below kind of see some scenery. For the most part, complete coverage. In fact, I can see there is some ice forming on the airplane right now, so jump back down. And we'll turn on the wing and anti-ice still on, so okay. A little bit of ice forming, but not a terrible amount. So it's nothing that causing the effects of the airplane. So flying to Tijuana. So flying from the US to Mexico. Flying right towards the border. Yes, we have had a few stormy days in the UK recently, and so London was definitely rather ravaging with the winds, and Heathrow, I can imagine, not a fun place to fly from. Yeah, we have had a few storms recently. Not to the extent of the US right now with two hurricanes, and say not towards that of the Far East right now with also the monsoon weathers. Certainly a bit of a windy one. So currently at cruise, we're actually quite close to the overspeed right now, so we're bringing back the throttle slightly, just in case that we do start speeding a little bit. That being said, we seem to be rather stable at the moment. So what's our ground speed? Ground speed 441 knots. So actually you're not doing too bad at the moment. Speed seems stable, flight seems stable. We're in the red, but not really an overspeed at the moment, so we seem to be alright. Outside of Microsoft Flight Sim, definitely SimBrief. I'd highly recommend SimBrief as it gives you the full flight planning documents, as well as maps, charts and other information as well, so definitely SimBrief. Why not buy the 2080 Ti, because there'll be plenty, because the 30 series cards will be cheaper than 20 series cards. Because of the new technologies, because, there you go, there's your airspeed alarm. So, NVIDIA are no longer using Turing architecture, they're using a new one instead. I can't remember the name of it, who they've named it after, but it's going to be faster by 90%, and to both compete with AMD, who've released some rather cheap cards at the moment, as well as the new technology being rather cheap as well. The 30 series cards are going to be cheaper than 20 series cards. TBM best aircraft, I'd say the King Air. The King Air 350 is the best model aircraft in the sim. Systems wise, it's spot on with the Proline fusion panels. I like it a lot. That's quite crazy in that cockpit. It's not the biggest by any means. A little bit of icing, nothing too serious. Have I tried DCS World? Yes, I have played DCS World. I've got a couple of modules for it as well. But it's a sim that I wish I'd use a bit more often, but I just don't have the time really to sit down and use it. Yes, IVAO does make other player planes appear in your game. Also uses full voice ATC on the occasions that has got active ATC. So right now we are flying on Unicom. So we are flying right now on 122.8, but hopefully somebody will tune in later on and have someone to talk to. But as it stands, we are currently on Unicom for the next bit of this flight. Heading right now. Oops, what have I done there? I don't know, 213, current heading. 213. Which gets correct seasons and stars. SimBrief. SimBrief tells you all the flight information, including your departure, SID and star. So after the airport first and last points, it'll have to tell you your SID, your departure, or your star, your arrival. If it doesn't have that and tells you to fly direct, then in those occasions there is no SID or star and therefore you fly direct. But on the second page of the flight plan, it will tell you your SIDs and stars alongside your waypoints for the routes. Flying same plane, try your first ILS approach. Enjoy it! Yes, the ILS frequencies will change automatically, as well as the runway course. I'm running a standard 1660, but not a 1660 Ti. No, the CJ4 does not include auto throttle. Welcome there, Barzy, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chats. Why Avio not VATSIM? Because I've got issues with my VATSIM accounts and they're not willing to help me, so Avio it is. I'm not doing too bad. It's been a rather good bank holiday weekend for me. Got to enjoy 3 days off work, not the usual 2, so I for one can't complain. Drink and fly, guys. A nice, rather nice ouzo from a guy at the place I volunteer at. Came back from Greece recently. I guess I'm flying the private jet, so having a spirit is, well, kind of fits. Although being the pilot, again, I don't recommend drinking and flying. No, I'm not a captain. I don't fly commercially for career. I'm just a lowly marketer and database support person. IVA is quite good for Europe, definitely. A lot of European aides use it. Also South America. Very popular in South America. You've used little Cessnas until now. I mean, it is still a Cessna, Carlos. It is still a Cessna Citation. You're not that far off of it. Same yokes. Same basic principles. Not a little one, this thing is tiny. If you look at other private jets, Cessna Citation is one of the smallest ones on the market. Both for capacity and for the range. Biggest plane in the game right now, the Boeing 747. 747-8 Intercontinental. Right, let's have a look. So if I back on my approach now, so it's going to be runway 09 ILS 3, and that is fine. So that puts our route at 719 miles to runway. We're at 41,000, so if I was looking for my standard 30,000 feet, which is 80 miles to 52,000. Thanks for being a sponsor, Stefan. Much appreciated. Thank you very, very much, man. Ooh, actually, I just noticed that the pop-up, when you guys donate and do that, is a Cessna Citation, and I'm flying one right now. I'm sure there's a link between the two, because that was just a random GIF I found on Google, which I quite liked. But, well, for once, we're actually flying the actual aircraft. I believe that was a Citation 2, while this is a Citation 4. The same kind of aircraft. So one of your archive streams on YouTube, do stream now. So I'll stream on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Right, so yeah, in terms of descent, I'll be descending between... between Daphne and Tannery, about 20 knots before Tannery, we're starting our descents. 250 knots, 2,000 feet per minute. Although the manual throttle is going to be a bit more of a challenge, this one. And the approach as well, it's going to be a very hands-on, challenging manual approach, this. Oh, is it a CJ4 as well? That's very nice. I like it. I don't know. I found a GIF on Google. I thought, hey, that's cute. I like it. Let's use it. It's one of those free GIF used images without rights here, whatever. And I don't know. I just liked it, so I used it, and it stuck. Whenever I do train sim streams, I can have a HST rolling across the screen. Class 43 units. I've done the frequent flyer miles challenge from... no, I haven't. How long is the flight? How long is that frequent flyer mile challenge flight? Not sure about the routing yet. I plan to do South America for it, so tomorrow I'll do the longitude. On Wednesday, I'll then do South Africa. And then Thursday, we'll see. I think this will be my last week of daily streams. From next week, we'll go back to a bit more standard 3 or 4 times a week. This shall be my last week of daily streams as well. I'm getting knackered now, and I am starting to, I mean, I enjoy flight sims, absolutely, but for me, health-wise, I do need to actually get some sleep for the first time in about a month, so we'll see. A bit overspeed, not at all, Julian, not at all. We are right on the, okay, a little bit on red there, but as long as the aircraft's not pulling it out, we'll be alright. So 9-hour flights, you need to refuel while airborne. Okay, okay. Yeah, so Concorde's on the way. DC Design's currently developing it. It should be out of us in the, well, hopefully not too distant future. My PC's custom built and has been upgraded for about 4 or 5 years, so I'm afraid I can't really give you a price for it. There's a saying there, Ian. If you're googling how much the cost of a yacht is, you probably don't have enough money to buy yourself a yacht. If you have to Google how much the yacht costs, you don't have the money to buy a yacht. If you buy one, you win the lottery, you'll be a pilot. I mean, you'd have to pay for the training and all that as well, but hey. I don't know, I'm enjoying it right now. I'm really enjoying Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's a lot of fun. The level of detail and everything has certainly been seconds to none, especially visually. Yeah, so exhaust trails, contrails are currently on the way. So are just reworking the effects engine. I'll make them visible in the sim. Have I tried on air economy management? No, so you're talking about FS economy there. I am waiting for packs right now, so as soon... wing anti-ice is turned on right now. It's turned on. I mean, I could wing lights if I really wanted to, but I won't do anything. Yeah, so I'm waiting for packs right now, and as soon as Sim connects, works without lagging, then things should start running a lot smoother. Yeah, so 15 years ago it was £60,000 to come and see commercial pilot. Nowadays it's £80,000 or $100,000 to become a commercial pilot. Right now I'm using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog, stick and throttle. ETA, we are landing in approximately 1 hour-ish, 1 hour. Altitude right now, 41,000 feet. We're flying at flight level 410. Nice above the clouds. Because of the clouds, you don't get to enjoy too much of the scenery down below. A few small gaps here and there. So you can actually see some of the desert here in Colorado down below. You get a few sneak peeks of the ground, but not much at the moment. Hopefully he's fly towards the coast, and he starts to clear up a little bit. Let's have a look at the weather right now in Tijuana, see what that's going to be like at the moment. Meta, Mike Tango Juliet. Okay, let's go to Google and have a look at Tijuana weather. Right, so as it stands, it's clear skies apparently, QNH 1012. Oh wow, we're actually going to head to Pascal's, so we need to change that while we're doing our flights. We'll do that now, so go to the rear here. Oops. Fine. Can you switch between inches of mercury and hectopascals in the Citation jets? totally sure. Oh, there you go, reference spirometer. If I then scroll down. Barometer, is that it? Select. No, okay. It's not that. It's in up. Tools menu not, radar menu not. Okay, unless one of you guys know, I don't think we can, so we'll just use it. We'll convert it from inches, sorry, from, yeah, inches, well, QNH to inches. Yes, I will do the longitude. I plan to do that one tomorrow. If all goes to plan, fly the longitude tomorrow. How do you keep the live terrain streaming thing? What do you mean by that, Omar? Welcome Santos, welcome Germany, how are you doing today? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat. The biggest cost when it comes to an aeroplane is fuel costs and maintenance. Fuel and maintenance are the two biggest costs that an aircraft will endure during its life. Nope, no failures today, flying all standard. Welcome there, Matt Zeus, how you doing? Welcome David, how you doing? Welcome both to the channel, welcome both to the chat, how are you two doing today? Just a little bit of turbulence there, aircraft a little bit over speed at the moment, but we're alright. The faster we're going, the quicker it takes us to land. Welcome there, Aspen Cuts, how you doing? What happened earlier? Nothing. We departed, all looking good, we're flying. Meant a geographical satellite. I mean, that's just based on your download speeds, isn't it? You download the data and stream data as you continue your flights. I'm going to do flight training yet. Ah, fair play, Alejandro. Fair play. Tijuana is quite an interesting airport because of how close it is to the US border. And I believe now actually it's possible to now enter the US through the airport of Tijuana. So you fly to Tijuana, and you can now go through a fast track border control straight into the US from the airport terminal. That was in like 2012 if I recall correctly. Flight time onboard meal. So flight time is 95 minutes. The onboard meal, caviar and champagne. I'm actually drinking right now a good old ouzo from Greece. It's a very acquired taste, but I don't know, I like it. Rather strong as well, I must say. Yes, the 30 series cards will be announced tomorrow, alongside the release dates and the prices. I'm going to be watching that for sure. Alright, so yeah, had a few small niggly bits of the sim in terms of it crashing, but it seems to be doing alright at the moment, and so try not to jinx it, we'll carry on as normal. As we always say, third time's the charm. That's it, Cross-Border Express, cheers to that, Ricardo. Uzo, yes, very strong. I mean, I've just had a 3-day weekend, bank holiday in the UK, so I don't know, I thought I'd treat myself tonight, and I just got... The bottle was a gift, actually. It was from someone who went to Greece recently, and so I decided to buy a bottle on the way back. I like it. Very strong, very nice. It's from Greece. It's a bottle of Greek. Next planned holiday. I've got no planned holidays at the moment. Absolutely nothing. I love to travel. I travel as much as I can. But around COVID at the moment, it's just safer to not travel, so I've decided to put a pause on it and potentially wait until next year and see what happens. It comes from Cyprus. It's from the region, so Cyprus and Greece both very similar in terms of their... Well, the Greek Cypriot Brotherhood, for example, it's known, so... As you know, the two countries have very strong historic relations, so they've got a lot that they share between the two. You can see now the clouds are slightly starting to break up now. We've got a bit more visibility of the ground. Hopefully that means by the time we come into landing, things should be rather clear at the moment. I think someday flight's going to be a hologram we'll travel in. Well, at the moment it's looking like VR could be doing that. Captain Canada flyby. Oh yeah. Oh no, I like Captain Canada. I like Captain Canada. I do watch his streams from time to time. Very explosive personality, I like him. Having the guys some add-ons. You talk about the airport one, the Vienna. I've got Vienna. I bought it last night and I plan to fly from there at some point soon. Yes, there is some icing on the wings, but not too much at the moment. Not enough to cause us any problems. I haven't flown the longitude yet. I was going to fly it yesterday, but I had a few issues with my deluxe edition sim, so... All solved now. Flight tomorrow instead. Ah, welcome there, Angelos from Greece. 12:30 AM right now. Go to bed. Don't watch the stream. Go to bed. Descent will be in around... Well, it's between Daphne and Tannery, our descent, so... What's our next waypoints? Daphne. So just after Daphne... 468. So about 20 miles before Tannery. I'm not sure what the timing will be, but 20 miles before Tannery, we'll start our descent into Tijuana. Yeah, Content Manager won't update because the update's not released yet. The update comes out early next week. Early this week, sorry. So, not yet. Yeah, go to bed if you're up at past... Yeah. Drawyah, usually go to bed. 1:30. I go to bed at 1:30 if I'm lucky. This week, on 2 occasions, I went around 4:30 in the morning to bed. One to record the tutorials, the other I was flying to Dubai. Cappuccino biscuit. Nope. Drinking Greek ouzo at the moment. You know, the kind of things you shouldn't be drinking when flying an aeroplane. Welcome there, Redex, how you doing? Redex84, welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat, how are you today? There we go, so the clouds now really start to clear up. And it's just nothing but desert down below. So it will be clear skies between here and Tijuana. Landing should be in clear skies as well, so it should be rather good. Ah, nice on tents. Good to see you over there. Did you actually fill towers? Of course. Of course. Who wouldn't? Got some Zabrovka to accompany me from Bristol to Krakow. Sorry, Katowice, sorry. Papa Kilo Tango, that's Katowice. I've been to Katowice. I've spent more time in Bytom, though. Oh, trust me, I've never been hungover, I've never passed out drinking. That's not me. Yes, the FA will be after you. We see. Full moves like in 2012 flights. Right, let's spin the aircraft around, shall we? Ah, fair play. Yeah, so I've been to... I lived in Bytom when you were an infant. I've got a great aunt who lives in Bytom, so I've been to see her a couple of times. Well, a couple of times, I literally mean 2 times. Oh man, your up speaker's real. What do you mean by that, Axel? What's like my like for the Cessna? I mean, it's rather alright. It feels like a nimble little private jet. You now live in Krakow. Sorry, Krakow. I need to remember the O over the dash and then the W's a V, so Krakow. Yeah, Krakow I've never actually been to. I've been through it a couple of times, but I really need to one day actually sit down, actually pay town a visit. Because I've spent a lot of time in Rzeszów and Lublin, as I've got family over there from my mother's side of the family. Flight time, we'll be landing in approximately 30, it's about 45 minutes. I have been to Germany, I've been to Berlin, I've been to Hamburg. Berlin was a school trip. We went toward the former Second World War memorials around the city. And then Hamburg, I went to go to Minotaur Wonderland. We're landing at runway 09 at Tijuana, so we're going to fly over the water and take the US border approach, so right alongside the borderline there. No, I've never been to Portugal, although I'd like to at some point. Yes, we are using autopilot. There's no way I'd fly a commercial jet for over an hour with hand flying. We have autopilot, but the Cessna Citation jet does not have auto throttle, so one thing you do miss out on. Come to Funchal, drink some poncho and fly a Skyhawk around the island. I'd like to. So I'd like to continue my license at some point in the future. Carry on my MPPL Type M. Nope, never been to Africa. I've never been outside of Europe. I should have gone to America in May, but that trip got cancelled. So as far as I'm aware, I have never been outside of Europe. So I'll send points, so past Daphne. We'll be sending around here, the airports. So about 20-30 miles from the tannery points. How old am I? I'm 21. 21 years old. I'd like to visit Africa. However, as a tourist, I wouldn't actually mind volunteering there at some point. Going to some of the smaller towns and cities. At some point in my lifetime, like I said, I do want to actually do a proper volunteering experience. Actually go out to, I don't know, like dig a well or do something, because, I don't know, it's just something about going out and helping people that I always enjoy. I volunteer at a railway, and so during the weekends I run a public service, but I've always wanted something a bit on a bigger scale, and so at some point in the future I plan to do a bit of research into that. No, I don't fly in real life. I do it just as part of the, just part of the simulation. As a career, I do marketing and database support. Yes, I'm 21 years old. Should you get a paramotor license or a driver's license? As much as I hate to say it, go for a driver's license. You'll be able to drive a lot more than you'll be using a paramotor. We're playing right now, flying the Cessna Citation jets, Cessna Citation 4. Do you volunteer on the Steam Railway? It's a light railway I volunteer on. It's a light railway. The rice supply though. Yes, we are using autopilots. Back in 3 minutes. Just need to pop to the loo 2 seconds. Can you make a takeoff and touch go Neham? We'll see. Dad's from Morocco, it's awesome, especially when we go out there by paramotor in the US. Cool. Nice to know. I mean, I'd like to do paramotor at some point. I've done microlighting, I've done gliding, but I've not yet done paramotors. How much longer? 45 minutes. Welcome there, Meandel JPEG, how you doing? What do I do at the railway? I do ticket selling, platform assisting, and train guarding. From October, I should then finish out my training as a driver and start driving trains. I'm not playing with keyboard, no. I would never dare fly flight sim with a keyboard. I'm using the Thrustmaster, HOTAS, Warthog and joystick. I will get a private pilot's license. I will do an NPPL Type M, but certainly not commercial. I have got anti-icing turned on right now. The wing and engine anti-icing are turned on. Now back in 2 seconds. You've got to the toilet 2 seconds. Right, I'm back, and oh, thanks for 100 likes, guys. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Right, what have I missed? Looks like something's glitched, apparently. PTA gives you a warning. Why is that? Depends on the systems. Sometimes you need them on, sometimes you need them off. I am here, burner. Just went to the loot. Yes, IVO is rather good. I like it a lot, but more users would certainly help it. And so, you guys, come join IVAO. Sunny views from the UK. Well, this is America right now, so hopefully not over the UK. Hopefully a fair few 100 miles or 1,000 miles away from it right now. Very pretty up here. I volunteer driving trains. In fact, if you go to my Instagram accounts, I've got a few shunting videos up there. So I don't drive trains passengers yet, but I do some empty train movements and shunting in a shunting yard. My marketplace is down way bad. So I bought my stuff directly from developers. So Orbex, I buy stuff from. And that's about it really. I've only bought the Orbex sceneries. The rest of it's all freeware. How do you start volunteering? I mean, in my case, so when I went to the railway, they were doing an open day, so go to the workshop, have a look around, all trains are free. So I was like, okay, I've not been there for about 15 years, let's go down there, take the bus, drive the passenger a few times, get involved. Inside the workshop, there's like a recruitment stand where they're talking about an open day they're having about 3 weeks later, where it'll be like a volunteer experience day. So you go there, you join the crew, follow them around, see what it's like, and then sign up at the end of the day. So I did that, signed up, and yeah, it's been rather good since then. So if you want to join a right away, and especially a volunteering one, just ask someone really. Go out there, say that you're interested, get some details down, and hope they contact you. You keep saying why is it glitched sometimes, Multi, but you're saying nothing. What's glitching? Just a question. I've seen you. Seen you where, Sid? You've seen me do what? Yeah, I don't get why you scroll down and has to hide all the views. Hands flight was 95 minutes, 1 hour and 35 minutes. My Instagram account, it's Drawyah YT. Links also in the description. Not too long now, should be descending in about 25 minutes. You've seen me fly the King Air. Does the FMS copy work? Yes, so the King Air uses the Proline fusion panels, and it does work fully from the cockpit. In fact, it's probably one of the best systems in Sim in terms of its functionality. Yeah, I'm sorry, Martin, we're going to have to meet you now because you used to keep saying the same thing, but not actually saying what's glitching, so unfortunately now, it's just spam. I mean, 20 kilobits per second, that's not bad by any means. The minimum the sim requires is 5. So as long as you're doing 5 kilobits per second downloads, then as a minimum, you're doing alright. Favourite aircraft? Probably the 737. I do like 737. How much for moderator? Rule 1 being a moderator, never ask for moderator. Which plane is this? Oh, plane. Cessna Citation Jet4. Cessna CJ4. Yeah, very true. If you're getting kilobit per second internets, then yeah, you're doing horribly wrong, sorry. It's megabits per second you hopefully be looking for. What country you live in to only get 20? No. There is a cabin, but as far as I can tell, you cannot go inside. There is a way you can get in by adjusting the camera config. And so I know that Sim2Fly has done a tutorial on it. But something to play around with later. Estimated time to landing, 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Yes, so for drone camera, I am using the Xbox controller just because it's a rather nice way of controlling everything. Allowing you to adjust your camera view without too much of a hassle. Drone camera, very, very good. Yes, and so it is also possible to fly the sim with no internet as well. It is possible to fly with no internet, and you can just turn off all the online features. So it is more than possible. Graph settings are high at the moment, high or ultra. No, Sid, you take care. Have a good night. Anti-ice is turned on right now. It will naturally descend. Yeah, feel free, me and Delta JPEG, you enjoy yourself. What aircraft will you be flying? DA42, enjoy it. Yes, 900 megabits per second is more than enough to run anything, let alone Microsoft Flight Simulator. Speed is manually. There is no auto throttle in the Citation Jet4, and so the throttle is manually controlled. I do plan to do night flights again, and really just seeing how people react. Last time I did night flights, there was a lot of complaints about it being too dark and therefore a lot of downvotes. And so I'll try to do a night flight again, see how that goes, and we'll see. If people start having the same problem, then I'll try and avoid doing night flights in the future. Not too long to go now. Not too long to go. Welcome there, ACT Ward, how you doing? Current position, we are about 250 miles from Tijuana. How am I? Not too bad at the moment. Doing rather good. It is possible to refuel mid-air. You can go to the fuel panel here and add it, but so it's not realistic, that's for sure. But it is possible to add fuel in flights. Thank you, Sid, for the €5. Oh, here you go. There you go. It's Cessna Citation jets. It's the Citation jets. Like I say, I found that image on Google for free, and well, for today, it's actually imagining the aircraft I'm actually flying right now, so I like it. Rather cool, little extra. Thank you, Mountain Jack. I'm glad you're on the streams. Yes, England as a nation is rather small. And, oh yeah, it's not a very big area. Population 60 million. 11 of which live in London. Yes, you can fly the 747. You can fly the 747-8 Intercontinental with Microsoft Flight Simulator. No, Sid, you take care of yourselves. Have a good night. When are you planning on arrival? Arrive in about half an hour. Airport charts, I use, what's it called? Chartfox, isn't it? Chartfox. Yeah, it's 70 million now, isn't it? 10 years ago it was at 60 million. That was back when I was at school. So during my geography classes, for me, it was always 60 million population. But you are right, 70 million population, of which 11 million live in London. Through the TBM from Luton to Aberdeen. I've not actually flown the TBM yet in the simulator. Whenever I do, I fly, well, whenever I fly these kind of bits, I usually fly the King Air. Yes, I have set up memberships. It is possible to join the channel as a member. That is an option available. I've got no issue with the flight dynamics of this aircraft. I mean, I've never flown a real Citation jet, and therefore I can't really say what it feels like compared to real life, but it doesn't feel too bad. Sadly not. I believe you can actually use a different link instead. Let me have a look. Yeah, so it's possible to use the /join link. There's another option joining as well. ET 30 minutes. 30 minutes to arrival. Does Microsoft Flight Sim delete areas you've flown over? Yes, that's part of caching. It's got maximum size whatever you set it, and it will delete data that you're no longer flying over to save disk drive space. Welcome, Flash Frag. How you doing? Welcome back. How do you take off aircraft from conduct flying? I mean, 9 times out of 10, aircraft are pretty much exactly the same to fly. They all follow the very same basic principles of startup, which is battery and avionics on, APU on if the aircraft has it, bleed sets, engines on, bleed sets. It's the same very basic startup, regardless of which aircraft you're flying, so it's practice. I'm using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. The Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog stick and throttle. I would absolutely, without a doubt, not recommend any flight simulator with a keyboard and mouse. Welcome to Seattle. How you doing, David? How you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chats. I just use a yoke because my desk isn't big enough to fit a yoke, so I use a stick instead because it's quite small. The more you spam about... Oh, it's a different person. Yeah, so on there, I don't plan to use on there, I don't plan to use self-loading cargo or FS economy. I'm waiting now for packs to arrive as soon as the SimConnect issue sorted out. The ground's so blurry, and we're at 41,000 feet right now, so the ground is blurry because at the moment we're streaming out the entire ground scenery, not just around the aircraft, but everything to the horizon. It's having a lot of data right now, and so... I mean, I wouldn't even say that's half bad. That's a rather good bit of quality, that, for 41,000. I'll tell you not say it's blurry. But ultimately, because you're streaming in so much data around the wide scope around the aircrafts, it does take a little bit of data to download. And again, at 41,000 feet, you look at the ground, it's never going to be crisp. The ground hue and the other ground effects as well will always cut down the visibility. PAX. So PAX by TFDI Design is a passenger experience add-on.
Overspeed.
It's a passenger experience add-on by TFDI Design, and basically it simulates the passengers and crew of a new aircraft. So cabin crew, passengers, ground services, that kind of stuff. And so one of the core features of it is the fact that you can actually speak to passengers using your voice. You can actually speak to them and interact with them on the ground, so you can actually say that welcome aboard your flight, talk about push and starts, tell cabin crew to be seated for takeoff, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun, and I do quite like it.
Overspeed.
Everyone's telling me to use anti-ice. You think I'm dumb. Anti-ice is turned on right now. I'm not dumb, don't you worry. I know what I'm doing here. Anti-ice is turned on, it's just the how the sim shows off ice. Yes, I do like their 717. It's a shame that there's no plan to support it to Microsoft Flight Simulator at the moment. But that's in fact the code in it was never really built for cross compatibility. Yes, so I also used to use FS Passengers a lot back in the day. Although sadly, FS Passengers never made it past P3D V3, so PAX for me, a very good transition. Why did you have PAX in the sim? Because SimConnect is laggy, and so after SimConnect is fixed, then I'll be using PAX. So from next week it should be. There should be a sound barrier like Shadow. Have a look. Looks alright to me, unless it's something that you've, or it's something you're expecting to see. There is plans to be 737, that'll be done by PMDG. So PMDG will be added in 737, the NG3, and that'll be added to the sim Q1 2021, so early next year. Yes, as soon as the patch comes out, then that will improve both packs, but it will allow me to use packs, and it should also improve IVO as well in terms of the model and flight display. Why do private jets fly so high? So the higher you fly, the less airflow around the aircraft, and therefore the cheaper fuel is, because without fuel, well, you burn less fuel, it's more efficient, basically. So the PMDG will cost $139.99 for the NG3. Packs, yeah, so essentially waiting for SimConnect fix for Pax arrives. $139.99 will cost, and that comes out Q1 21. Flight time 95 minutes. How long left? About 20-35 minutes. Not long to go now. The airport's about 200 miles away. No worries to Pisa. You take care of yourself. Have a good one. Can you imagine what it's going to look like in a year's time? I mean, Microsoft and Asobo have both said that they will work for 10 years in terms of updates and new content. 10 years of new content for Microsoft Flight Sim, so imagine what it looks like in a year. Imagine what it looked like in about 10 years. Yeah, more than easy to play in flight. Especially some of the smaller aircraft, the engine start checklists are very simple to follow, very easy to understand. Is it comfortable for passengers to send at 8,000 feet per minute? No. I don't know what your nose pitch was with that Bastion, but at 8,000 feet per minute, you're probably going to be feeling like 3 or 4 Gs. Your passengers are going to be feeling horrible during that. You're basically falling out of the sky. You just does it automatically. You can zoom in and out. But showing the next waypoints, that's done automatically. Not long to go now. Not long to go. You keep asking multi-gamer every 2 seconds. I've already told you to ETA. The more you do, the more that's spam. The second time they've actually been spamming. There'll probably be a ban. 10 years, so we have Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 until 2030, and then either they extend the life of the simulator, or they create a new one, which in this case will be Flight Sim 2030, but we'll see how it goes. The 737 NG series will be the 800 and 900s, those two will be pretty much confirmed. And then the 600 and 700 will either come with the NG3 or they'll be part of the expansion pack that comes later. I have flown to Seattle rather recently, so at the moment I'm trying to spread out the airports I fly to and from. So I have flown to Seattle rather recently. I'll give it a couple more weeks till we fly to Seattle again. How does ATC compare to X-Plane 11? I'm afraid, Redex, I can't tell you because I've never used ATC for X-Plane, and I've barely used it for Microsoft Flight Sim, so I've had no real experience with it, and therefore I can't tell you, I'm afraid. Can you add deliveries? Yes, you can. It doesn't matter what version you own, you can add deliveries to the sim. Come out for Xbox either later this year or early next year. No, I'm not too interested in FS Economy. I'll wait for packs to arrive. How much FPS I get? I get a solid 30 at the moment. Solid 30. No plans for Game through 30 yet. Nothing's been announced. Not from Asobo, not from third party. It really depends on what you're doing there, Alex. I mean, if you're flying on standard multiplayer, then no one's gonna get annoyed. But if you're flying like IVA or VATSIM and don't use ATC, then yes, people get annoyed. On standard multiplayer, you'll be fine. Can you add deliveries to the beta edition? There is no more beta sim, it's all released. Glad you joined the MoMA. I'm very glad you're enjoying these streams. I have got the London City pack. I don't think I can recommend that, I'm afraid. As much as I love Orbex, no, I'm not a massive fan of it. I mean, the only thing it really adds is Canary Wharf. The rest of it they've removed to leave the default assets in place, and so it's not been a great release for them, I'm afraid. I could not recommend London City Pack. I love their sceneries, I love everything else they do, but that pack was not great at all. Well, if you're waiting for a cheap 7.3, David, then I'm afraid you have to be waiting a long time because, well, Milviz have announced the 737-200s, and an unknown developer has announced the 400s, and so those two won't be, I guess, too expensive. Well, we don't know about the 734, but the 732, Milviz aren't too terribly expensive when it comes to their pricing, and so there's a 200 you'll be able to pick up, but in terms of NG, nobody else has announced one yet, so it's just a case of waiting with that one. Yes, Microsoft Flight Simulator does have seasons, and the weather effects are all shader based. For example, if it snows, it will add snow to the ground and all that. So yes, it does have seasons, and it's a rather nicely done bit of the kit. Right, we're nearing Mexico now. In about 70 miles. 70 miles will start our descent. Nope, you don't buy Leverage Marketplace. It's a free third-party add-on that you can download. Aspen ICO is Case. Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo. Case. As it stands, the only trijet that has been confirmed is the TFDI design MD-11. That one has been confirmed and should be coming out, well, it'll be out next year or early 2022. Still relatively early in development, and so there'll be a little bit of time before it comes out. My favourite aspect of the sim, the scenery. The scenery is second to none. Worldwide satellite imagery, the clouds are phenomenal, the real world live weather setup's great. The scenery in the sim is second to none, nothing compares. Oh yeah, Chigwell at Chelsea should do us rather good. Lampard's going to do rather well for us this season. I mean, he did well for us last season with a relatively inexperienced team for the young players. Some big signings so far. I'm expecting next season to be very, very strong. Nope, no news yet on the Embraer E-Jets. At least none that I've seen at the moment. Yes, that reminds me, I actually need to download Paderborn at some point. It's the Aerosoft Freeway one. I need to get there at some point. I'll download it tonight, actually. A Concorde will come. DC Designs are currently doing a Concorde, and they're doing it alongside Just Flights. But Concorde will come. Nope, no Dash 8 as far as I'm aware. The only other aircraft I'm aware of that are commercial is the CRJ series. Aerosoft have confirmed the CRJ on Twitter. You can message me on Twitter, Rue. I'm not sure quite when I'll get back to you, because I'm quite... well, I've got a lot of messages to get through, but if you drop me a message, I will get back to you eventually. Sorry, multi-gamer, but you just keep spamming now, so I'm afraid that's now a ban. Goodbye. Again, I've got even more Discord DMs to go through, but if you drop me a message, I will eventually get back to you. This is rather nice. I think I'll have one last sip and then I'll leave it for the night. Maybe a bit more than 15 minutes. We still haven't hit our top of descent. We're a little bit behind schedule right now, but not by much. We descend in about 60 miles, so not far to go now. Trust me, Bitcramjet. Better to be flying with an Xbox controller than flying on keyboard and mouse. airspace control at least gives you some sort of control of your aircraft. My graphics card, I'm running an NVIDIA GTX 1660. Yeah, so I'm a Chelsea fan myself. VNAV, no, there's no VNAV that works in this aircraft, so I am using altitude hold at 41,000. My entire specs in the description listed below. It's not that difficult to get right. Bitcram Jet Sing. It's not a very difficult name. South Africa times 1 AM again. Go to bed, man. No point slaving yourself away during nights to watch these streams. It'll be available in the morning to watch. It's like the guy in Greece. It's like 2 in the morning for him. Don't watch at 2 in the morning. Go to bed. Don't make the same mistake I have, which is stay up till 4 in the morning every night to stream flight sim streams. Go to bed. Enjoy yourself. Welcome there, Attic. Welcome there, Killer DCX9. How you both doing today? Welcome to chat. Yes, so Redex 2308 for you. Same for me here in London. It's currently 9 past 11 in the evening. .6 PM. So I presume you're in the US, Mr. Crystal. Not too bad. It's been a rather nice bank holiday Monday, a nice 3-day weekend for me, so back to work tomorrow. Everything else nice and swell. From Virginia, fair play. Not using yoke. Using the Thrustmaster Hotas Warthog. I'm 21 years old. ETA 25 minutes. Tomorrow I plan to fly the Cessna Citation Longitude. I haven't got a flights plan yet planned out. I'll probably think of something tomorrow when I'm at work. Think of it at work, set up the stream, set everything all up. Favourite country after Finland. Yes, I do like Finland. Very nice place. Greece, very nice country as well. Went to last May I went to Athens, spent a couple of days in Athens. Also spent a couple of days on the island of Limnos. Very beautiful place. I'm supposed to go to Vegas on the 21st. On my 21st, actually yes, on my 21st supposed to go out to New York from London. I've never been outside of Europe. I've never been to America before, and I also would have flown the 747. Sadly, America's now been cancelled, and the 747 no longer operates in British Airways. So, sadly, that's something that I probably won't be able to do anytime in the near future. One day I'll fly the 74, but as time goes on, it becomes less and less likely. Right, 20 miles till we descend, 20 miles to go. The other aircraft I should have flown was the Yakolev 42. There's an airline in Russia that, until about 3 weeks ago, used to operate the Yak 42 out of Moscow to Izhevsk, Izhavia. But couple of weeks ago, they then retired their entire Yak fleet and now operate 737s instead. But, yeah. There's a lot of aircraft I was on the brink of flying, but sadly never got to in the end. I mean, the A380 and 747 both still have a couple of years left. The A340 is now very limited, but you still get a few services. Nope. Not going slow at all. We're currently cruising at, well, ground speed is 364 knots. We are currently flying at Mach points... Mach point 39? You are right, we are flying very slow at the moment. Cheers for that. Where have you gone there? Yeah, it's just that, Citizen Kane. Of course, Citizen Kane of all people coming in. I'll check my airspeed there. That's the downside of, well, manual throttle, I guess. Let's get speed back up again. No, I've never had an issue with the A320 autopilots. If anything, I've never had any problems with any aircraft autopilots. For the most part, it seems to treat me rather well, but then again, I do know how to fly these aircraft on a bit more of a manual basis, so it does help. We're going to get Los Angeles chatter right now. Let me set this stuff up. So we're inbound from the whoops. There we go. Right, so we're coming in from the northeast. Star is currently the Tiny 1 Bravo. We'll be landing on runway 09 into Tijuana. So as soon as we hit our top of descent, I'll then make a mention of that.
Overspeed, 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 overspeed.
There we go again, just slight adjustments to the throttle, keep the aircraft flying straight. Right, start our descent, shall we? So bring throttle back and sets the vertical speed to 2,000 feet per minute down. Why doesn't CJ have auto throttle? Because the engine's too small. The engine's too small, and therefore the aircraft just cannot handle the systems. Mexicali, that's just the area between California and Mexico, so while not a place you'll see on the map, it is a nickname for that region, yes. Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. No, so the rear engines, Embraer regional jets, and all CRJ aircraft do not have the auto throttle. It's a plague that the rear engine aircraft, I guess, will suffer from, because the rear engines are so small and the systems that connect to it aren't quite up to spec. You just can't quite fit it all in there. Is it a city, Mexico? I thought it was just like the region in Mexico, California. I think it was the city. I guess you learn something new every day. Cheers for that. I'll share my frequencies 2 seconds. It is... tuning. So it's 111.5. Automatic navigation, which is fine. Just in case, I will jump over to the course selector and I'll set that to Doesn't matter, Smash don't do anything for me. That's fine. So as soon as we hit the lower stages of our approach, we have got navigate. No, we've got approach mode. I don't think the aircraft has anything in the way of a localizer, so it'll just be approach mode for the entire thing. Time to landing, not long. Sure, so how to activate ATC? So at the moment we are using Unicom, so there's no active control at the moment. So in this case it's just a case of mentioning Mike Tango Juliet traffic, descending from flight level 410. Yeah, so at that point we're just saying that we're descending from 41,000 feet, 410, and therefore just announcing that we are starting our descent. I mean, if you're having issues, I'll just type in chat, thrust, POTAS Warthog. There, that's my model of joystick. Got a right hand sound coming up shortly. That heads directly over the coast. What if appropriate aircraft production? Quite a lot of them. We're already in the list of aircraft coming. There's quite a few of them right now on the way. At some point I do plan to fly through the Caribbean, yes I do. So currently passing through the Tannery waypoints. I'm currently using IVA right now, Przemysław. Oh, did I actually get that right? Przemysław Zender. Yeah, I've just passed Tannery point right now. If you're an IVA, you should be able to spot me. If not, then I'll potentially out of range. Oh, welcome there, Max. How you doing? It does help. Moje małe jestem po polsku, na mówiłem I rozumiem troszkę po polsku. And so, to actually pronounce names like that, it's possible. Przemysław. Actually, is it Przemysław or Przemysław? Is that an L with a slash in it? I can't quite check from my chat window. Sorry, you are right. It's an L with a slash. Actually, it's Przemysław. Every 20 in front of us. Let's have a look. I mean, looking at the TCAS window right now, it doesn't pick anybody up around me. So if you are using IVA right now, it cannot see you. Welcome back, Peros. How you doing? I mean, for me, 110 quid wasn't just for the Dreamliner, but it was for all the airports and other aircraft as well. So for me, it was worth it, because I wanted to fly not just the 787, but I wanted the airports. I just wanted everything. So it really comes down to what do you want in the flight sim. If you want 787, go for 787. I mean, I can't say that I've got Premium Deluxe without mentioning that Microsoft provided me the copy of the Premium Deluxe edition I'm using right now. So this was provided to me by Microsoft themselves. But it really comes down to what edition do you want to fly, what do you want to be using in the future. Do you use the iBuy PowerPC? No, I do not. I've never heard of them. Best approach I've seen? I quite like the approach into Oslo Gardermoen, especially in the winter when it starts snowing. Oslo's quite a beautiful one. Greece is quite nice, landing into Athens is quite good. Catania again. Catania's quite a nice one. And those are airports I've flown to in the real world. Longitude is Premium Deluxe, yes. Premium Deluxe Edition only. The CJ4 I'm flying today, this is available as part of the Standard. A 1 hour A320 route. For me, I'd recommend London Luton to Inverness. Let's not introduce any politics, please, New York Yankees. Try to make it say politics free zone. Any crashes today? Not from my own piloting, no. Yeah, the default scenery in the sim is a bit off for Oslo, but in terms of the approach, I like it. Yes, Inverness is quite nice. Again, the approach into Inverness, especially if you're coming from the east, very scenic over the Scottish Highlands. Scottish Highlands on the coast as well. Let's go update the meta information here at Tijuana. Let's convert the altimeter from hectopascals to inches. It's 2988. So 18,000 will make the switch. Got a little bit long to go before they hit that. Let's also decrease our descent rate slightly, going back to 1,000. We'll go 1,000 feet per minute for a little bit. Can travel quite slow in this aircraft, so it shouldn't be too much of a difficult approach. Well, right now I'm flying the Citation Jet4, which is a manual throttled aircraft today, so there is no auto throttle in this aircraft, it's manual controlled throttle. Innsbruck's rather good, yes. I do want to fly to Innsbruck at some point in the real world. It's on my to-do list. Add-ons I'm using. Right now I'm only using IVAO at the moment. It's the only add-on that I have on screen. If you go to the IVAO forums, they have got a fix. They have got a patch available, which fixes the FPS issue on the simulator. Hardest approach I've done. Within a sim, probably. If you go back to one of my last X-Plane streams, I did my Q400 approach into London City with Flyby. That was quite a difficult one. Very heavy winds during that. If you get the knobs and buttons freezing, what you do is you open up the ATC menu and you resize it. Do that and it fixes the clicking issue. Dubai wasn't a difficult approach. Dubai for me was just one where I was distracted by the chats, which kind of just confused me for everything. So yeah, Dubai wasn't difficult, it was just more situational awareness problem. Down to 2,500 down idle throttles. Also slow the airplane down as well. What made you choose IVAO over VATSIM? Because of the fact that my VATSIM account's been suspended and they have no plans to talk to me about it. So, there. Simple answer. How many miles? Not too many miles. About 60 miles till we land. It's quite cloudy at the moment, it's down low. Hopefully, visibility for us should be rather good. Train Sim World 2, definitely worth it. I'd say it's much better than the original Train Sim World. Why did they suspend me? I won't go into reasons why they suspended your account, because there were a few other things around that. But officially, the reason that my account is suspended is... I've got a number of it, but it's basically... VATSIM reserved the rights to remove certain people from their networks, so that's the official reason. But again, I'm hoping that if someone from VATSIM can email me, if someone can open up talks, then I hold no grudges. I like the VATSIM network, I can highly recommend them. The people who fly it, the ATC, I like it a lot. It's just a few small issues here and there I need to try and get sorted out. But that's not to say Avio is bad either. I mean, the Altitude client's very nicely built. I like Altitude a lot. It's a very comprehensive tool, and flying on autopilot with it is rather good anyway, so I'm not terribly fussed. Oh, cheers for that, Woosa. I'm glad you find me so nice. Not at the moment. It is currently Unicom over Mexico. No ATC at the moment. Let's possibly bring back. Oh, set our altimeter now to 2088. Passing through 15,000. We've got a little bit left to go. Not long to go now. Not long to go. There are a few maps that can tell you where ATC is, so you can... I think it's called Avio WebEye, which you can use on Avio to check ATC connections. No worries, Thomas. You take care. Have a good one. No, do not fly with unlimited fuel. If you go back to when we departed, I set up the fuel with the fuel truck earlier. I said so smooth you could use it for SMR. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. Speed around 224 knots, so we're going rather slow at the moment, which is fine. We are soon to pass through 10,000 feet. Slowly descending over Mexico right now. Very shortly, going to enter the approach into Tijuana. We'll bring back our descent rate now to about 1,800 feet per minute. 1,700 should it actually. Again, I can't use that sim because of the counter suspension full stop, so even if they sort out Sim Connect, I can't use it. Thank you for hosting, Compact. Much appreciated. Again, you can enjoy the Citation Jet with the on-screen flashing Citation Jet. Yep, I just said that 10 seconds ago, Crazy Ivan. I've also given the reason why. As I keep saying, I'm always up for chat. If anyone from VATSIM wants to chat, I'm more than up for it. I just said again 10 seconds ago why I suspended the account. If you guys are not listening, go back 10 seconds ago. Past through 10,000 now, so we'll turn on the landing lights. Let's bring back our descent rates. Actually... yeah, we'll bring our descent rate to about 1,000 feet per minute. We should go to 800 feet. So we'll continue to descend. Not long now to landing, about 5-10 minutes. The airport should become visible to our right hand side shortly. Nope, it's all smooth for me. I mean, if I was glitching, you guys would see it as well, so... nice and smooth. be down at 2,000 feet for the glide slope intercept. Cable. Oh right, so the cable at the back of the aeroplane, this one, if I can get a right angle on it, so in fact let's just use drone cam. So that cable at the back of the aeroplane is a high frequency radio receiver, so when contacting and sending messages from ATC, that cable there is an antenna, and that is used to pick up and send ATC messages. Oh yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been a nice relaxing evening flight. And fortunately, well, third time's the charm. This one hasn't gone and failed on us. Touch wood. So I've got a bit of time for landing. I do hope to be a pilot one day, but not commercial. More of a hobby license. It's not supposed to be centered. It's realistic like that. If it was centered, then it goes and affects the airflow around the aircraft going through the tail, so it's off-center. That's how the aircraft works. I have done some landing challenges, yes. Everyone keeps telling me about on-air. I have no interest in on-air. I've never heard of it before today, and I don't plan to use it. Passing through 7,000. Using IVAO for ATC. As it stands, it's on Unicom right now, so Unicom ATC. I'm sorry, New York, but I have said no politics, please, and so regardless of who you follow, no politics. Nope, no FS economy, got no intention to use it. Right, let's now set with our first stage of flaps. Whoops, not yet. Okay, I didn't think the landing gear was sound just yet. It's been a while since I last approached the Citation jet, so I was getting used to it all again. But looking good at the moment. Not long till landing. So you can see that the magenta diamonds have now appeared on screen. It slides to the right of the runway, is slightly above the glide slope. So as long as we can bring the aircraft down to about 2,000 surely, we should be alright. Landing 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go. The airports, slowly coming to view now. Tijuana, Mexico. Tequila. Just a second, I'm going to make a right hand turn now. Let's decrease our descent rate now, so it's about 500 feet per minute. Since that diamond is slowly crawling on screen now, and therefore actually hold our descent now. Bit of throttle him. And again, don't forget, Drawyah, this is a manual throttled aircraft, so you don't want to stall the airplane out. Right, now comes for the serious bits. It's full aircraft management now. Don't want to muck this up, so we'll zoom in once again on the... Okay, that's maximum zoom on the ND now, which is fine. We shall be using the ILS for 09, correct? PC specs in the description. How do you remember about the autopilot? I mean, again, most aircraft autopilot systems are very similar to one another. So, once you learn one, the others. Greta, I'm going to have to mute you because unfortunately that is just a racist comment. PC settings in the description. So flying over, I believe that's an Air Force base? I'm not too sure. The airport's just there in front of us now, so that's the airport, I believe, no, sorry. That's one in the US. There's one somewhere in front of us that we're coming to land at. There are a couple of airports right on the border. There. This one is our one. Flaps down, gear down. Watching the glide slope. We're a little bit on the high side right now. So it's a case of just adjusting the approach now. Get that magenta diamond rising. Approach mode sets. So I'm going to follow the glide slope down now. Yeah, it's in full control until 1000. Flaps down 2. Increase throttle. So right now we are flying over America. Just along there is the border wall. And so this is one of the very few places over America itself where Mexico controlled the airspace. So it's a below certain altitude and for the specific approach into the runway here. It's an agreement between the two nations that allows you to use the runway. But runway 09 is a rather technical approach, a rather fun one. Now we're passing through 1000, we'll then switch over to manual control of the aircraft. Just there again, we're crossing back over the US-Mexican border. A very short final, we'll be landing over America. Sorry, landing over Mexico. It's not even that I want to fly over the ILS, I just want to fly over this approach specifically for the fact that it has got the Mexican-US border extras. Nothing to do with the ILSR navs, just wants the fun. So back over Mexico now. Manual control, both throttle and the stick. Keep the aircraft stable, a little bit low on the glide slope, we should be alright. Okay, 2 reds, 2 whites, so bang on again. And... and touchdown! No reverse thrust in the Cessna Citation jets, so hold the brakes it is. Welcome to Tijuana. Ooh, a very stuttery Tijuana, that's for sure. Assume it's just all the scenery loading in. There we go. So exit the runway to the left. And let's go to taxi over to some parking. Increase the flaps. Turn off the landing lights, turn off the pulse, turn off the strobes. And let us also turn off the anti-icing, so we no longer require that at this altitude, which is the ground. Yeah, I think that was a more than successful flight, that. For the reverse thrust, I use the... well, actually, I'm using reduced throttle for my reversers, which is... well, it works on the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog, so if it works for me, I'm not complaining, but it's not the ideal way of doing it. APU, there is no APU in the Citation jets. No APU. So park into one of these stands in front of us here, since this is the, well, lights stands. There's no localizer switch, just the approach switch. You're doing it all manually until the very final bits on the Citation jets. How'd you taxi well? For me, this was a horrible taxi. I barely kept to the lines for the entirety of it. This was horrible. But, again, the more you practice, the better you fly. Parking brake sets. Engines cut off. There we have it. That's the lighting. We'll turn off the beacons, turn off the taxi lights. There's master caution, corning, master caution and warning. I'm tired, it's late nights. And there we have it. Welcome to Tijuana. And yeah, not a bad flight overall. Rather enjoyed that. Third time was the charm, yes it was. And so finally we've now been able to fly the CJ4 for the live stream. No, I'm not a real life pilot. I do marketing and database supports. Although I would like to do some light flying in the future. So yeah, tomorrow I plan to fly the Cessna Longitude. So back in the private jets again tomorrow. Probably do that one over South America, so probably that's like Brazil to Argentina or something. We'll figure out the routing while I'm at work tomorrow and then prepare that for tonight, or tomorrow night. And yeah, I think that brings now the end of today's stream. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed yourself. You all take care. If you're from the UK, then enjoy the last 14 minutes of the Bank Holiday Monday. And regardless of where you're from, you guys have fun. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night. And I'll see you again in the oh, is it Tijuana? Tijuana. I'm sure I'm saying that right. I'll look into it. You guys have fun. Take care. Have a good night. I'll see you in the near future. Bye bye.